Welcome to become part 3 students, and those are chosen advanced accountancy as optional paper. We are discussing about vouching. This is Professor Dr. V.K. Sawant. Presently, I am going to deliver lecture as related to vouching. In last two lectures, we concerned with meaning of vouchers. What is meant by voucher? Definitions of voucher, vouching, and points to be noted about the vouching. In the present lecture, we are going to discuss two important parts as related to vouching, of which one part is need of vouching and another part is significance or importance of vouching. Firstly, we discuss need of vouching. Every organization needs accounting. In accounting, various transactions, especially financial transactions, are recorded with the help of certain documentary evidence, and that documentary evidence are checked in auditing. Checking of vouchers termed as vouching. So, need of vouching is given here. For auditing, vouching is very important as an auditor needs because proper evidence of all transactions are checked while doing audit. If vouching is not done, the claims of auditor will not be considered to be accurate and fair. It means vouching is an essential aspect of auditing. Claims of auditor will not be entertained if the work of vouching has not been done. By using vouching, vouching means checking the available documentary evidences as supported to business transactions. Because of vouching, frauds that are difficult to detect can be discovered. Vouching is needed for discovery of frauds occurred in the organization. Therefore, vouching must be performed with great care and importance. Otherwise, the auditor can face charges of negligence. To avoid the charge of negligence, the need of vouching is important. Vouching is a tool in the hands of auditor. Auditor is working for the sake of owners. In case of company, equity equity shareholders are owners. It points out that truth of entries in the books of accounts. Truthness is verified in auditing. Vouching points out errors and frauds in primary entries and its reflection in further accounting can be easily detected. Due to vouching, it is possible to detect errors, especially accounting errors and frauds. One of the objectives of audit is detection of errors and frauds. That is secondary objective of auditing. In this regard, vouching is helpful to an auditor. Audit starts with vouching. Very important. Audit starts with vouching. So all the subsequent steps in auditing depend upon vouching. Therefore, vouching is the base of auditing. Auditing checks whether transactions are related to business or not. It means relevance is checked in vouching. It checks for fictitious transactions created for committing frauds. All these facts can be found with the help of vouching. So, vouching is essential for auditing. In order to find out errors and frauds, vouching is needed. Various errors and frauds are discovered because of careful and intelligent vouching. Precaution is better than cure. Intelligent work is expected from the auditor. So he should find out what type of errors or frauds occurred. Vouching is a base of accounting with the help of which the auditor can proceed well further and can certify accounts. While certifying accounts, the auditor should have done the work of vouching, and in that vouching, the auditor show that whether the all transactions are as related to business and they have proper relevance and they are properly recorded with documentary evidence. Vouching is the soul of auditing. That sentence is very important. Vouching is the soul of auditing, and without which no audit work will start. It means vouching is the base of auditing. So, for that purpose, auditing, vouching is essential. Another components of our discussion is importance or significance of vouching. While auditing the books of accounts, it is expected that an auditor should not merely satisfy himself with the results of records, but he has to go beyond the books of accounts. It is expected here the auditor should not concern with only books, but he also extend his work other than books. It means that he should check books of accounts, vouchers, as well as other relevant facts as related. He expect and verify the existence and correctness of records. Importance of vouching is given below in the following manner. Proper evidence. Vouching acts as an evidence for the entries recorded in the books of accounts. It is the work of vouching To ensure that proper evidence is available for every entry, the auditor should note that every entry is supported by proper evidence. When performing an auditor must have proof of all transactions. Preliminary work. Auditing can begin only all vouchers are entered. Vouching is a sort of preliminary work which performs an important part of audit work to check whether evidence are correct or not. While vouching transactions happened in the business house, it is the duty of an auditor to check that the evidences provided by client are correct or not. Frauds may be committed presenting duplicate vouchers. Essential documents or records are to be checked carefully, which is the scope of vouching. It means that auditors should check all matters as related to transaction and that transaction has been supported by proper evidence. Proper authority. To verify proper authority behind every transaction, a transaction is not accepted without signature of concerned manager. It means that every transaction must be authorized by the responsible officer and that transaction can be accepted by the auditor. If the transaction is not sanctioned by the authority, that should not be considered and it kept away from vouching work. Ensures proper accounting. The validity, authenticity, and correctness of the vouchers, that is termed as prime evidences, and its proper accounting is being checked by the way of vouching. Here, the auditor is checking two important things, that is correctness and validity. It means that accounting is correlated with history. In history, happened events are recorded in that manner. In accountancy, happened transactions are recorded. Therefore, happened transactions are recorded with documentary evidence, and that documentary evidence can be checked in auditing. That is termed as vouching. Basis for verifying. Vouching acts as a basis for verifying the assets and liabilities. Assets and liabilities are shown in balance sheet. The auditor can verify that assets and liabilities properly. Quality work. Quality is the mantra of today's world. Quality cannot be achieved with short efforts. It requires continuous hard efforts. Quality is not an accident. It is the result of planned, sincere, continuously, scientifically work done. The degree of quality of auditing depends on the quality of vouching. If the vouchers are proper, they have supported properly by evidence, then the degree of auditing will become more qualitative. Different from routine checking. Vouching is different from simple routine checking, as vouching is much more accurate than latter. It means in vouching, accuracy is expected. Final accounts. Vouching proves whether the final accounts reflect true and fair view of the state of affairs of the business. The auditor has required to give report of his work, that is called an auditor's report, and he states that the final accounts are reflecting true and fair view of state of affairs of the business. So, while preparation of final accounts, documentary evidence are essential and that should be checked by the auditor. Arithmetical accuracy. A trial balance is prepared to check arithmetical accuracy of the books of accounts. But in vouching involves checking of accuracy of entries with the help of documentary evidences. It includes checking of casting, posting, and carry forward balances. Casting must be correct, posting must be correct, and carry forward balances must be correct. Then further recording will become correct. Accounting principles. Principle is a fundamental truth. Principles are drawn from common experience, and principles are guidelines of the working of an organization. Vouching ensures all accounts are prepared by applying principles of accounting. In principles of accounting include accounting concepts, accounting conventions, accounting systems, and accounting standards, of which concepts are more important as, as compared to others. Accounting principles must be followed while recording business transactions in the books of accounts. And as per that principle, the expenditure or income has been classified into two parts, that is capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. It means that the auditor should verify and vouch that transactions are recorded as per the generally accepted accounting principles known as GAAP. So, capital expenditure cannot be recorded as a revenue expenditure. That should be checked by the auditor. Wrong vouchers. Vouching verifies first the documentary and other related evidences, which are the basis of entries. It points out fraudulent and wrong vouchers. Because of vouching, it is possible to identify what are the wrong vouchers or vouchers prepared for making fraud. Helps to detect errors and frauds. Vouching alerts an auditor by pointing out errors and frauds at the beginning of auditing. Vouching is only the way of detecting all sorts of errors and planned frauds. Errors and frauds may be done intentionally or unintentionally. It is difficult to find out errors or frauds made intentionally. Accounting period. Vouching helps the auditor to ascertain that the transactions recorded in the books of accounts are related to the accounting period and there is no voucher left unrecorded in financial books. It means that here auditor should consider the vouchers of particular accounting period and also he should note that no voucher has been remained from recording. Cash balance. It is conducted to check the cash in hand is correct. Here, to count cash and compare it with cash book, that is the part of duties of the auditor. Ensures proper disclosure. In vouching, it is observed that business have been disclosed relevant information to the stakeholders. It means that here the auditor should consider the what are the stakeholders and they should have given proper information or relevant information by the business concern. Backbone of auditing. Vouching is the backbone of auditing. Vouching is only way of detecting all sorts of errors and planned frauds. Hence, it is the backbone of auditing. The significance of backbone in human body is important and that is mentioned here. Vouching is the backbone of auditing. The same significance has been given to vouching in auditing. Core component of auditing. Vouching is the core and major component of auditing. Very IMP. Vouching is the major and core component of auditing. It is the base of entire auditing work. So, significance of vouching cannot be neglected in auditing. Helps to know relevance of the transaction. Vouching ensures that all transactions are pertaining to the business and they have proper relevance with the business. Compliance with law. Every business has required to follow rules and regulation or laws made by the government. In vouching, it is seen that the business have been fulfilled all statutory norms. It means that in vouching, compliance of law is seen by the auditor. Success or failure of auditing. One important quotation I would like to put here. Success has many fathers, but nobody is coming ahead for taking failure. Success or failure of an audit depends on vouching. The auditor should not only check the arithmetical accuracy of transactions, but also he should go through the source of transactions. It means that root level checking is essential. Another point of significance as related to vouching is essence of auditing. D. Paula has rightly said that vouching is the essence of auditing. Auditing checks whether transactions are related to business or not. It checks for fictitious transactions created for committing frauds. All these facts can be found with the help of vouching. Therefore, vouching is the essence of auditing. Vouching is the essence of auditing. So, in this lecture, we concern with two important parts of vouching. That is part 1, need of vouching. What is the need of vouching in auditing? And another point of our discussion was significance of vouching or importance of vouching in auditing. In this way, I am concluding my speech here. Thank you.